Hey, what's going on, YouTube family? Hope you're doing amazing. As I do with all my videos, I'm going to send you some love, positive energy. I hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, I hope that this inspires you, uplifts your spirit, and gives you some more hope and faith in possibility of, where you're at in your life and how you can maneuver your way and adapt and pivot so that you can live a better life. Before I begin, please don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell. It does help me out with expanding my reach and growing the channel as well. So I really appreciate that. So I've got a question which I'm going to grab right now. And look, a lot of my work that I'm doing on TikTok is about relationships, is about love, and it's something that we go through and we live with. Like, it's part of life, and as much as I talk about self-love and loving yourself and not being afraid to be alone, I've spent the last 3 years being with myself and connecting with myself, which is really powerful. It's the reason why I'm able to do what I do today. But it's very challenging and it's not easy for everyone because, when we grow up and we go through teenage years and into our early 20s, the norm is to follow tradition, is to follow kind of like your expectations from your parents and people around you to, when are you going to get married? You're getting into your mid-20s, late 20s, and the expectation starts to rise and you start to feel pressured. And if you're not already married, well, then there's something wrong. And so naturally, we tend to follow the tradition, right? And so there's already that pressure. And so we don't even have time to spend alone to even find out who we truly are. And that's the struggle. And so I'm so blessed to say this after all the relationships that I went through since from teenage years all the way through my 20s up until I was 33, they didn't work out. And I'm so blessed. I'm just like, oh my God, thank you, God, so much for not allowing these relationships to manifest into a marriage or children. Because I've been able to now step back and say, okay, I need to get to know Luke more. Who's Luke? Who is he? Luke's been getting lost in his friends, his family, the expectations of the grandmother to say, when are you getting married? Or dad saying to me, when are you getting married? Right? Or just being with friends all the time, drinking, partying. And so I was getting lost in those worlds a lot and comparing my life to others. And so that's what I'm trying to say, is that we don't get to spend much time alone to really figure ourselves out. And so I've been blessed to be able to do that in the last 3 years. But so this question is about relationships, and it's about being abused. Used and abused in a sexual way, and so it's hard to now trust or even think that you could be in a relationship in the future with having that sexual aspect being a part of it, right? And I get it because I'm hearing this word narcissism a lot, especially on my TikTok channel. A lot of people, I know it's mostly women, but I know that this happens on both ends. And this is not me taking a pick at the males, because I know that it does happen on both sides. But I know that for most cases, I've heard more cases on the women's side, and so it's very disturbing. I think it's disgusting, but it's very destructive to your sense of self when you get deceived, when you get conned, when you get manipulated. And so after you've been through an experience like that, maybe it's 10 or 15 years worth of, being put down or being abused or being told what to do and having to do things against your own will, that hurts, and it takes courage to actually leave something like that, especially if you're married, especially if you've got kids, especially if the narcissism has been so well delivered from the person to the to the victim, right? that your mind is completely manipulated, completely shut down, and it's completely numb because you got so used to that person controlling you that you've completely lost yourself and allowed yourself to just do whatever is told, you know? And so that confidence in yourself has diminished, you know? So if you've escaped that now, if you're alone now, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, I've been through some shit in my life, and there is no way that I would want to get into another relationship because I've been hurt too much. And so my response to this kind of a question about going through abuse or sexual abuse or narcissism and stuff like that is that you got to give yourself some attention. It's not about, yes, time, I know they say time heals, but actually giving yourself attention, whether that's taking yourself on a holiday, whether that is looking at yourself in the mirror every single day and telling you that I'm proud of you for everything that you've done in your life. I forgive you for mucking up. I forgive you for thinking you weren't good enough. You know, I'm committed to growing every day. I'm committed to becoming a better version of myself. I'm committed to really, really focusing on my own personal development over the next 2 years so that I can grow as a person, so that I can really become the person that I was meant to be without anybody controlling me. And so that is something that's so, so, so important to do in order for you to grow into your true self. Because you've been pushed. You've been pushed down to the floor, in the grass, in the mud, continuously, consistently, for so long that you've lost your sense of self, your identity. And it hurts. It hurts so much. I feel it, you know? And so for you to come out of that, you have to spend time alone. You've got to work on yourself. It's not about saying, okay, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to keep living my life the way it is. I'm going to watch TV. I'm going to cook for the kids. I'm going to keep doing my normal routine, walking the dog, and maybe in 2 or 3 years, I'll get over it. No, in my humble opinion, ain't nothing going to change in your life if you are not willing to change. If you are not willing to start by giving yourself some attention, some dear love, right? Because that's the missing key, right? I truly believe that self-love is the missing link between self-actualization and becoming the best version of yourself, right? Because we're not taught to love ourselves. We are taught to love others, right? We are taught to help others. We are taught to hug others. We are taught to give to others. But hey, hang on a second, hang on. How can we love and give if we don't look after ourselves first? I'm sure everybody's heard of this analogy, and if you haven't, I'm gonna say it. You know, when you're in the airplane and they say, you know, if in the event of emergency, put on your oxygen mask first before helping others, right? Because if you don't look after you, how the hell are you going to look after other people, right? So this goes, you know, in this way of what I'm trying to talk about. You got to look after you first. And as you grow, as you build yourself up, right? Because you start to say, hey, you know, I'm not going to get lost in other people's world. It's time for me to take a step back and to really be able to appreciate myself and really be kind to myself because I deserve it, you know? And not to be so harsh on ourselves, because we are very harsh. We're very critical. I've been, over the last 12 months, I had moments where, you know, there was somebody that I was working with and she actually had to remind me a couple of times that I'm being too hard on myself because I've always been so critical on my performance, so critical on some of my videos, so critical on me because I'm overthinking things too much. And it's sometimes we've got to step back and really be kind to ourselves and realize that, hey, you know what? You're doing the best you can, right? Because if you're doing the best you can, you know, all you can do is all you can do. And all you can do is enough. But make sure you do all you can do. But don't push yourself too hard. Be kind to yourself. Know that it's a process, but you've got to take the time to give that appreciation and that affection and that attention to your beautiful self that you haven't taken the time to do all your life. As you build yourself up, this goes into the next stage. You then open yourself up to a new vibration, right? Because what I truly believe, right, is that the vibration that you are on, you will then attract somebody in your life that is also vibrating on that frequency that you're on, right? You don't want to hang around people who are negative, who are bringing you down, who are not making you feel good. You want to make sure you're very, very particular on who you're surrounding yourself with and the conversations that you're having with people. If they're not uplifting, if they're not making you feel good, you need to eliminate them, and you need to kindly let people know that, hey, I'm working on myself at the moment. And whether you have to tell them to their face that you're really negative and all you talk about is the news and all you talk about is what's gossiping about other people, right? And you just don't want that in your life, because you need you more than they need you. I'll repeat that again. You need you more than they need you, right? And as that happens, that growth, right, your frequency will start moving up. Your vibration will start elevating. And as you become more of who you truly are, then you will also attract into your life the law of attraction, right? Because you will start attracting love. You will start attracting positivity. You will start attracting these kind of things that are also vibrating on your frequency. And that could be another person who is also in personal development, who is also into loving themselves, who is also into really respecting their identity, into really appreciating their own self-worth. Because when you connect with someone who loves themselves, someone who's been investing in themselves, someone who really has an appreciation for life, for existence, for the abundance of what we have around us, for being grateful, for just breathing, that will change the game for you. And then you'll realize, wow, you know what? I want to have sex with this person. And that is the challenge, because you're afraid, you're hurt, you're in pain, you've been traumatized, right? And so in order for you to be open to have sex with someone when you're going through that, it's not going to happen, I understand. But it will be a natural flow that you will get into when you connect with someone, and that person will be so affectionate, so understanding, and so caring that they will understand when you share with them your story. They will want to hear it, and they will respect your approach to, sexual conduct. Absolutely. I'm just imagining myself meeting someone who has gone through being traumatized, but they have invested in themselves. They've built themselves up. They've built their own business. They're really grown in confidence, and they've really become somebody. And then I connect with them, and we just vibe, and the energy is amazing. But then they tell me they've been through this, and they want to take things slow. And I would be like, man, baby, come here, give me a hug. Fuck, you want to go slow? No problem. That's the kind of connection that you will have with the person that you connect with. But if they're not willing to do that, if they're trying to be pushy and forceful and stuff, see you later. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. Feel it within you. When something is wrong, it's wrong. Trust your vibes and get the hell out. That's something I had to learn over the last 6 months. I didn't trust my vibes. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust my intuition. And I got burnt. I did. Yes, I learned a lot, but I was afraid to stand up for myself. And that's why I am even more of who I am right now, because I had to stand up for myself. I had to trust myself. I had to start listening to my intuition, because as soon as you do that, man, you really become the person that you're supposed to be. You don't doubt yourself anymore. You listen to that heart. You listen to that gut. You listen to that feeling. When something is wrong, it's wrong. Move. Anyway, guys, I hope you liked that. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know what you think. And if you have any questions, I'm going to get back to you as soon as I can. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, or take a listen to my podcast. It is on all podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, and the links below. You can check out my merchandise as well. I've got some really cool t-shirts that'll keep you inspired and motivated So check it out. The links are below. Have an amazing day. Sending you so much love. This is Luke Mindpower. I'll see you on the next video upload on YouTube. This is so much fun. Peace, guys. Take care.